Hi, myself Raja. Welcome to egame.com. Let's begin stoichiometry. Stoichiometry. This word derived from Greek. Stoichion. Stoichion in the sense element. In the Greek, metri stands for measurement. Measurement. So these are the calculations involved. The quantitative relationship between reactants and products from the balanced equation. So, for the stoichiometry, we require a balanced equation. We require balanced equation. Balanced equation. Balanced equation we require. Right, okay. So balanced equation follows principle of atomic conservation. So any chemical reaction, when you're writing in the form of equation, you need to follow here principle of atomic conservation, which is associated with conservation of the mass. Principle of atomic conservation in the sense, how many number of atoms of particular element you are taking in the reactant side, same number of atoms should be appeared in the product side of that particular atom of the element. That we can say principle of atomic conservation. Say for example, I am taking here one reaction. Methane is undergoing complete combustion and is giving carbon dioxide and water. In this, left hand side one carbon, right hand side one carbon. So number of carbons are tallied. Both the sides, left hand side and right hand side. But here the number of hydrogens and oxygens are not tallied. So that what I have to do it? I required suitable coefficients to keep in front of either reactants and products to balance the number of atoms. So now what I am doing, I want to calculate now number of hydrogens to balanced. Okay, 4 hydrogens left hand side, only 2 hydrogens right hand side. So I should make it this 2. Number of hydrogens are balanced. Now I want to balance oxygens. Right hand side we have 4 oxygens, left hand side only 2. So that we can keep here is 2. Required coefficient will be 2. So whatever the coefficients we have written in front of the reactants and products, the compositions, those we can say stoichiometric coefficients. So in this balanced equation followed principle of atomic conservation. The stoichiometric coefficients are 1, 2, 1 and then 2. Like this you have to balance any chemical reaction in the given question. So balancing the chemical reaction is must in this stoichiometric calculations. Right, okay? Right. So steps to be followed for the calculations stoichiometrically. The first step is write the balanced equation. Write the balanced equation. After writing the balanced equation, mention the stoichiometric coefficients of reactants as well as products. So we have to relate quantitatively the stoichiometric coefficients of reactants and products. After that, from the given question, okay, relate okay, the given to the stoichiometric coefficients, to the stoichiometric coefficients. Relate the given to the stoichiometric coefficients. In the question, maybe giving here the parameter mass, volume, number of moles, number of molecules, etc. etc. Those parameters will be given in the question. So those who have to relate quantitatively between reactants and products. After that, calculate the desired parameter. Calculate the desired parameter. Desired parameter by using unitary method. By using unitary method. So these are the steps to be followed in the stoichiometric calculations. Let's have the stoichiometric calculations taking some example. Let's take some examples here, stoichiometric calculations. For example, calculate the mass of carbon dioxide produced by thermal decomposition of 50 grams of calcium carbonate. So this I am taking mass relation. Mass relation. See, stoichiometric calculations may be the involved mass relation calculations, mass volume relations, volume calculations, mole calculations, and so on. So the given question is a mass related the calculation. So let's find out here. So this is a question being given. According to this question, we should write the balanced equation. That is the first thing you have to do. Write the balanced equation according to the given question. So here in the given question, thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate, we required the chemical equation. So that I am taking here that reaction, calcium carbonate undergoing the decomposition and giving calcium monoxide and carbon dioxide. After writing this, you need to see that what are the stoichiometric coefficients are involved in the reaction. So 1 mole stoichiometric coefficient. So 1 mole I am taking here. 1 mole I am taking. 1 and 1 mole. So stoichiometric coefficients 1, 1, 1, 1. So we can take these stoichiometric coefficients as molar ratios. So that I am writing 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole. So 1 mole of calcium carbonate undergoing thermal decomposition and giving 1 mole of calcium monoxide, 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Here the relation, the question, mass relation. That's why I am converting this into the masses. Okay. So that's what I have taken. Mention stoichiometric coefficients. I mentioned over there with respect to the number of moles. Then relate the given stoichiometric coefficients. Okay. We have to relate now. Right. 1 mole. 1 mole, 1 mole. This is the relation. Now we need to calculate desired parameter. Okay, desired parameter by using unitary method from the given question. Given parameter is calculation of mass of carbon dioxide, taking 50 grams of calcium carbonate. Okay, so 1 mole compound according to the balanced equation, molar mass of this calcium carbonate is 100 grams. If you take 100 grams, the mass relation 44 grams, that is 1 mole of the compound of carbon dioxide is obtained. But in the given question 50 grams of calcium carbonate if you take, how much the mass of carbon dioxide is obtained. So that is a unitary method we have to apply to calculate the desired parameter, mass of carbon dioxide. Let's find out that. Let's find out. Therefore, the mass of carbon dioxide is produced that is equal 50 into 44 over 100, 2 times, that is equal to 22 grams. So 22 grams of carbon dioxide is obtained in the reaction, right? So like this we have to go for the calculations using the unitary method with the help of balanced equation. Balanced equation is must, right? Now let's have one more question. Let's take one more question that I am taking here, mole relation question. Calculate the number of moles of H2 and I2 by thermal decomposition of hydrogen iodide. This is a question being given. So hydrogen iodide, the number of moles I am taking 0.1 mole in the question. I need to calculate the number of moles of H2 and then I2. So let's find out the answer for this. HI is undergoing decomposing according to the question and is giving H2 plus I2. Is it balanced? No. I should balance this according to principle of atomic conservation. Here 2 hydrogens, 2 iodines. Here only 1 hydrogen, 1 iodine. So I required coefficient 2. So that I can make the balancing here, the atoms hydrogen and iodine both the sides. So here stoichiometric coefficients will be 2 mole, 1 mole and 1 mole. 2 mole of HI gives 1 mole of H2 and 1 mole of I2. Right? So 2 mole of this HI is giving 1 mole of H2 and 1 mole of I2. If I take 0.1 mole of HI, how many moles of H2 and how many moles of I2 will be obtained? That is the question. Let's find out this. Let's find out the answer further. Let's find out the answer further. Therefore, the number of moles of H2 produced is equal. Okay, unitary method I have to go. 2 moles gives 1 mole. 0.1 moles gives how much? Unitary method 0.1 divided by 2. 0.1 divided by 2. That is equal to 0.05 mole. Let's find out here this, the number of moles of I2. The number of moles of I2 produced is equal to 0.1 again 2 by 2. 2 moles gives 1 mole. 0.1 mole gives how much? That's the question. So cross multiplying you have to go for that. So 0.1 divided by 2, that is equal to 0.05 mole of I2 will be produced. Right? So let's have one more question. Let's take one more question. Let's take one more question here. So one more question. Now I'm taking here mass volume relation. Mass volume related the calculations. carbon react with oxygen and is giving carbon dioxide. This is the reaction. In this, I am taking here 3 grams of carbon to burn completely. How much the volume of the oxygen? The volume of oxygen, how much? At STP. At STP. I want to calculate. Consider this a balanced equation. Right? Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. So 1 mole compound of carbon, okay, requires 1 mole of oxygen and is giving 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Why? Because stoichiometric coefficient is 1, 1, 1. So given question, mass volume relation. If you take according to this balanced equation, 1 mole carbon is nothing but 12 grams. So 1 mole of oxygen in terms of the volume, that will be 22.4 liters. So 12 grams of carbon to burn completely at STP requires the volume of oxygen will be 22.4 liters. But in the given question, 3 grams. 3 grams of carbon if you take in the cylinder to burn completely, how much the volume of oxygen is required at STP? That's the question. So that we can go for the unitary method here, the calculation. Therefore, the volume of oxygen requires at STP, that is equal 3 into 22.4 divided by 12. So 4 times will go, that is equal 5.6 liters of oxygen is required at STP. This type of question asked in one time in MSET. MSET. Stoichiometric calculations. Right, okay? So let's go for taking one more example. Stoichiometric calculations. Now I am taking volume relation. Volume relation, the calculations. Okay, now I am taking here this 8 grams of methane is taken in the cylinder. Okay, how much the volume of oxygen is required? How much volume of oxygen is required? Okay, to burn completely this 8 grams of methane at STP. There is a question being given. Right? Now here the mass being given. Okay, if I want to solve this in terms of volume, this mass of methane we can convert into volume, no issues. Okay, let's find out this. Let's find out. Methane is undergoing complete combustion and is giving carbon dioxide and water. The balanced equation for this will be, okay, 1 carbon, no issue, and 4 hydrogens. That's why I have to keep here this 2. Then I will make it 4 hydrogens. So oxygens to be balanced here, 4 at right hand side. I required here this 2, so that I can make 4 oxygens. So everything is balanced over there. Okay. So 8 grams. This is 1 mole of this methane. Okay. Requires 2 moles of oxygen. This I am taking 8 grams. 8 grams I am taking. So 1 mole of this methane is 16 grams. 16 grams. That is nothing but 1 mole. But in the question I am taking 8 grams. 8 grams of methane, how much? Okay, that is a half mole. Half mole in the sense 11.2 liters. So 11.2 liters of methane gas being taken for complete combustion with certain volume of oxygen. Let's find out the volume how much. Okay, look at this. 16 grams of methane. Okay, that is 1 mole. This is nothing but 22.4 liters. So 22.4 liters of methane gives, okay, 2 into 22.4 liters of 22.4 liters of methane requires 2 into 22.4 liters of oxygen at STP to burn completely. Okay, but you are taking 11.2 liters of methane. If you take 11.2 liters of methane, how much the volume of oxygen is required at STP to burn completely? Therefore, the volume of oxygen in this reaction, that is equal, yes, I am taking here 11.2 into 2 into 22.4 divided by, okay, 22.4. This will be cancelled. That is equal, on calculation we will get 22.4 liters. 22.4 liters of oxygen is required to burn completely. Okay, 11.2 liters, that is nothing but 8 grams of methane. This is a volume relation. Right? Now, let's go for some more calculations. I will give some more calculations here. Let's go for some more calculations. N2 plus H2 gives rise to NH3. This is the equation I have written. Right? From this, 5 liters of nitrogen, okay, reacted with hydrogen to form ammonia. Then calculate the volume of NH3. This is the question. Let's say, right? Okay. So nitrogen react with the hydrogen in giving ammonia. This is not balanced equation. To solve this problem, we require a balanced equation. So let's solve with the balanced equation stoichiometrically. So given reaction is N2 plus H2 gives rise to NH3. This is a given reaction. So I want to balance now. 2 nitrogen atoms, left hand side only 1 nitrogen. I should make it 2. So that number of hydrogens becomes 6. Only here 2. So to make number of hydrogens 6, then I require coefficient here 3. So now 1 mole of nitrogen reacted with 3 moles of hydrogen and giving 2 moles of ammonia. So this is the molar ratios, accordingly balanced equation. It's accordingly balanced equation. See, stoichiometrical equations, if you write, at the end of the reactions, after completion of the reaction, we can have only the products. There is no amount of reactants. You have to keep in mind always. Stoichiometrically, they reacted completely. So with this portion of reactants, if you take 1 mole nitrogen and 3 moles of hydrogen, they react each other and forming here, 2 moles of ammonia. Right now, if you take stoichiometrically, in terms of mole, this is 1 mole nitrogen requires 3 moles of hydrogen to form 2 moles of ammonia. Please listen very carefully. Right? If I take micro level, taking number of molecules. Micro level number of molecules, 1 molecule of nitrogen. 1 molecule of nitrogen, this is 1 molecule. Reacted with 3 molecules of hydrogen like this. 3 molecules of hydrogen. Okay, so 1 nitrogen takes 3 hydrogens like this. Another nitrogen takes 3 hydrogens like this. The old bonds will be broken, new bonds will be formed between nitrogen and hydrogen atoms. They rearrange. So that we will get 2 molecules of ammonia like this. 2 molecules of ammonia like this. This is a micro level. If you take macro level, accordingly Avogadro's number, 1 stoichiometric coefficient 1, okay, that is nothing but 1 mole. 1 mole compound can have Na number of gas molecules. 3 moles 3 Na, 2 moles 2 Na, that's it. If you take Na number of molecules of N2, requires 3 Na number of molecules of hydrogen and gives 2 Na number of ammonia molecules. If all these are gases now, for example gases there, if you take the gases, reactants and products, you can take, so you can write in terms of volumes also. So with respect to stoichiometric coefficients, one stoichiometric coefficient we take, that is 1 volume, 3 volumes, 2 volumes. This volume it may be milliliters or liters or cubic meters, whatever it may be. Suppose 1 ml I am taking this fellow nitrogen. Obviously, this fellow will get 3 ml, and finally will get the ammonia. So that is 2 ml. If you take 2 liters, 1 liter as 1 volume, 3 liters and 2 liters, 2 liters, 6 liters, 4 liters, like this, 1:3:2 ratio. In that only the volumes to be present in the calculations, right? Now, so 5 liters of nitrogen is reacting with hydrogen and giving ammonia. I want to calculate the volume of ammonia now. Avogadro's approach, we can go for it. This one volume we consider as 5 liters. This will be 15 liters is required according to balanced equation, hydrogen. So obviously one volume of nitrogen 5 liters, this will be ammonia 10 liters. Therefore say 5 liters, so 1 liter gives 2 liters of ammonia. 1 liter of nitrogen if you take, 2 liters of ammonia, right? If you take 5 liters, then how much? That is a unitary method we can apply. Therefore the volume of ammonia obtained in the equation, like from the given equation, that is equal 5 liter into 2 liter divided by 1 liter. Liter gets cancelled here, 10 liters. That's what we are taking. Okay, so quantitatively if you want to calculate anything, you require for that particular chemical reaction balanced equation. Without a balanced equation, it is highly difficult to calculate the quantitatively the given parameter, right? Now so one more term I am going to introduce, that is percentage purity. Percentage purity. Sometimes the reactant, the composition, it is not being 100%. Most of the compounds is not 100% purity. Some impurities will be present. So that the expected amount is different, the calculated amount is different on the calculations. By the time we require a percentage purity. Percentage purity is nothing but percentage purity is equal the mass calculated divided by mass of the sample. Mass of the sample into 100. So that is the percentage purity. By using this, we can calculate the percentage purity. Let's have the percentage purity questions. Let's illustrate taking one example, the percentage purity. Let's illustrate now. I am taking one question. Okay, 50 grams of calcium carbonate is produced is produced 20 grams of carbon dioxide on thermal decomposition. On thermal decomposition. On thermal decomposition. Then find percentage purity of the sample. I want to find out. Let's do this. So if they give like this a question, we have to go for stoichiometrical calculations. What we required initially, we required balanced equation. So corresponding the reaction is calcium carbonate and is giving calcium monoxide and carbon dioxide over here. Right? 1 mole, 1 mole and 1 mole. 1 mole of calcium carbonate, the molar mass, how much? 40 plus 12 plus 48. 40 plus 12 plus 48, that will be 100. So 100 grams calcium carbonate if you take. So you will get 56 grams of calcium monoxide and 44 grams of carbon dioxide. 44 grams. But here 50 grams of calcium carbonate you are taking in the question. 50 grams if you take. So obviously you should get 22 grams of carbon dioxide, isn't it? But okay, experimentally how much the mass of carbon dioxide we are getting? 20 grams. So 20 grams to get this carbon dioxide, how much the mass of calcium carbonate? Is the trick. Unitary method you have to go. So required the mass, that is a mass which is producing calcium carbonate to give 20 grams of carbon dioxide is, therefore the mass of calcium carbonate which gives 20 grams of carbon dioxide, that is equal, okay, unitary method you have to go for like this. Okay, so 50 grams gives 22 grams, 20 grams gives how much? So 50 into 20 over 22. On calculation you will get 45.45 grams, this much. So 50 grams, if you take 50 grams completely does not give the compound here, is not giving. Just this much is giving calcium carbonate, the carbon dioxide. That is 20 grams we are getting. So percentage purity for this is percentage purity. Apply this mass, the mass, okay, of that particular compound, calculated one, that is how much? 45.45 divided by the sample mass 50 into 100. On calculation you will get 91%. So the percentage purity of this sample is 50 grams of calcium carbonate. How much? 91%. The remaining 9% is impure. Okay, the percentage impure now, impure, that is equal to 9%. Right? So like this, we have to go for the percentage purity, the calculations from the given sample. Okay. Now, let's take one more the example for this. Then after that, I will give the homework. Let's take one more example. Right. 8.4 grams of magnesium carbonate. Okay, gives 2.12 liters of okay, carbon dioxide gas. Right? Then find the percentage purity of the sample. I want to find out. Let's find out how. Okay. So first of all, to find out percentage purity, I should calculate the how much amount of magnesium carbonate is giving 2.12 liters of carbon dioxide with respect to balanced equation. That is stoichiometrical, you have to go for it. So stoichiometrical balanced equation for this reaction is magnesium carbonate is decomposing and giving magnesium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Right? Now, 1 mole compound magnesium carbonate decomposing and giving 1 mole of magnesium oxide and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Okay? Let's find out what is the mass of this magnesium carbonate, molar mass. Magnesium 24, carbon 12, oxygen 48. Okay? So 14, 5, 6, 7, 8, 84. 84 grams is giving, right, 22.4 liters. But you are taking how much the mass? 8.4 grams. 8.4 grams gives 2.24 liters obviously. Correct no? Unitary method if you apply, you will get 2.24 liters. But actually you are getting how much the volume of carbon dioxide? 2.12 liters. So 2.12 liters to get how much the mass of magnesium carbonate. So by applying the unitary method here, we come to know that how much the magnesium carbonate is giving carbon dioxide gas. Right? So on calculation, the mass of magnesium carbonate is giving 2.12 liters of oxygen, carbon dioxide, that is equal to 8.4 into 2.12 over 2.24. On calculation we get 7.4, okay, the gram something will get. Nearly, I am taking here nearly 7.4 something nearly I am taking over here. Okay, exact mass if you want to, so we can take like this. Okay, 7.95 grams. Okay, fine. 7.95 grams exact value will get the mass. Right? Okay. Now this is the mass I got for the magnesium carbonate. So from the 8.4 grams of the sample. Right? Okay. I want to find out the percentage purity in this. Percentage purity, that is equal. Okay. So mass of this magnesium carbonate obtained on the calculation, that is 7.95 divided by, okay, mass of magnesium carbonate taken in this, that will be 8.4 into 100. So on calculation we get the percentage, that is 94.6 percentage. This much the percentage will be obtained, will be a percentage purity for the magnesium carbonate over here. Okay. So like this we can go for this percentage purity the calculations. Okay. So one question will be given to you. Okay, homework. Please try this and the answer put it in the chat box or you can give them comment. So let's have that. The homework question for you. Okay. I am taking here 12.25 grams of potassium chloride, KClO3, gives 3 liters of oxygen on thermal decomposition. 12.25 grams of potassium chlorate gives 3 liters of oxygen on thermal decomposition. Then find the percentage purity of the KClO3, the sample. This is a question being given, homework. Please try at home and put your answer in my comment box. Thank you watching my video.
Hi guys, please if you like this video, like, share, subscribe